All right, you guys, we are here, and speak of the devil, today we're fighting Ichthir. That's the name that just popped up. Just as I started recording, he decided to come and raid us. This is a hardcore mode. That means if I die, everything dies. Not just wake up in your bed, try again with a few worse stats or no items, right? Like, this is actual world dies, I die, one life. So the kind of question is, how far can you get without dying a single time? And I'm just an average guy. I'm definitely no pro player in anything, right? I'm just happy to just dawdle and diddle and, well, no diddling, just dawdling. Yeah, I try to stay away from that because I'm not a sex offender. So, yeah. Good talk. Great introduction. Yeah, maybe I got to work on my introductions. We'll get there when we get there. For now, we're going to work on killing a big deer boss. So yeah, we've kind of built our home. We've secured it by digging a sort of a moat, which that helps, right? And we know where we are in the world. We got lost for the first couple of episodes, built a base, got a little bit geared, and now we're ready for a pretty good time. So I think we're doing all right. We just want to check what kind of weapons we're going to be bringing. Flint head's always good. I really like fire because you don't really have to keep the pressure on him all the time. You can kind of just keep tagging him, playing a little bit of a dance with him. That's a good way to do a lot of these early bosses. Our armor's as high as it could be. I could probably hunt trolls in a bit. Truth is, I just don't feel super compelled to do that. What are we looking at for food? I do want to get... Let's get these two bad boys on us. Yeah, might as well just be geared as possible. All right. Yeah, I think this is how we're going to fight him. From my understanding, deer boss is up this way. Stones should be just up ahead here. Yeah. And we've made a couple markers on the coast, so we do know where we are, roughly. He is an aggrieved piggy. You always like read these history books and there'll be these little snippets of information like, oh, you know, in like 1600 wolves and boars were invading like the town of Paris and like, you know, running off with like infants, and you're like, wait, what? Like just like a normal medieval city, just like a big one too, just getting attacked by random pests. That for some reason that's very funny to me. We're not gonna open that. We're not gonna dig that up too much. Anyway, so let's just go run off. So what I just did there was I clicked on that stone. That first boss stone points you in the direction typically by putting a marker on your map. But in a situation where you don't have a map, you know, or portals or anything, like myself, how do you find the bosses? And it turns out it'll actually just tilt the camera just enough. It'll just point you in that direction, which, as you can imagine, when you have to cross islands, can be very tricky. It is definitely possible to sail around islands and keep that bearing, though. It's usually helpful to have two people where one person can literally act as a compass. One other thing you can do, you know what we ought to do? It's actually so close. We ought to just make a path. I'm pretending like I came with the trophies we needed to summon him. But what's really happening is I'm pretending by making this path that I'm just trying not to get lost. And that's really... I'm just a really clever guy who forgets the one item that you need to summon the boss. Good thing it's like a 30-second run. The reason we want to kill the boss sooner rather than later, the con is that you actually start getting raided by mobs that can pose somewhat of a problem if you're caught unaware. If your base isn't really set up for it, you can definitely get smashed around. Oddly enough, those are the things that drop the trophies, those little deer. But on the other hand, with all that, you do get a power. So the power is, when we get to it, we get to it. I like to play with the HUD off now and then. I think it's a little bit more of a pretty experience. I think if I just hug these cliffs, I could find it without having to follow the stone again. Yeah, it's not too hard to find. Let's see where the base is. It should just be over here. Just love that. Good stack of health. 101 health. There's definitely better food out there, and we'll get there when we get there. I think sausages are what I'm really looking for. Just sausages and the next tier of armor, something that's when you start feeling a little bit safer. Just play it smart. You can get pretty far. Okay. I think we had in miscellaneous, we got 4 of these, right? You know what? It's raining right now, so what we're going to do is we're just going to sleep it off, go back to them in the morning. No problem. Beautiful. I like those little messages we get when you're having a dream of sorts. You wake up holding... You dream that you're holding your father's axe in your hand. Really dramatic stuff. Alright. You know, I played a classic mistake where you come running out of the house. You think you're fine, but actually... oh, you know, I had tools, but actually it's still raining because you gotta wait a second for the rain to disappear. I want to take a look at the stag break and what it would take to upgrade it. I think it needs 5. Now we could totally upgrade this. Yeah. Core, scrap, bone. Yeah, okay, we should do that. Core, scrap, bone. But then we need another trophy, which we can pick up on the way. No problem. We need 4 more trophies to upgrade. 1 for the boss. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'm just going to dump this all right here, right now. Even the core wood. Never mind. I'm a coward. Let's go get us our last trophy that we need. They drop fairly frequently. I'd say 1 in 3. The one that you really need, but it's very hard to get, is the Draugr Elite Trophy. And what you can do with that is you can make a really lovely big smasher. What's going on here? We got another one. Looks like they were just stacked. Did we get a 3rd trophy? No. We have another person over here. Person, I mean deer. I treat deers as equals. Yeah, that's just a boar, I believe. Interesting. So yeah, let's once again just go off in that right direction. It's just over this hill, as we know. Giddy up. No, I'm excited. I think we can do it. I really think we can beat all 5 bosses. If we just play it smart and safe. I've played this game so often, and it's about kind of switching mindsets from what kind of risks are you at. Like if you woke up in this world and you only had the 1 life, you know, how safe would you play it? What kind of techniques would you use to get around? And that's kind of what I'm asking here. Nice shot. Great shot. Okay. I actually let him get away so I could pull that off. And there we go. There's our 3rd one, like I said. Okay. So yeah, this is we had this trail here, right? Lovely, lovely. That just also helps us make our way back, because we're gonna be real confused once the fighting's over. We're gonna be like, where are we? Where's the coast? Where's anything? I don't know about. Yeah, let's just see. All right, wish me luck here. Should be fine. We got some great gear. What's been very reliable is just kind of hiding behind this table where you can still get a clear shot at him. Let's just You want to just keep him on the other side at all time, kind of juking him back and forth. And you get nervous because he kind of rushes you, but... And he can do that head slam that does a ton of damage. Not on obviously not in normal mode. He's not a very scary boss anywhere, but he can one-shot you if you're low geared, and he gets you with that headbutt. Usually I'm hitting him for 20, so I'm a little bit surprised. There's a 30. That's great. The higher you hit him is the better the burn. So it's kind of like you don't want to hit him for a 30 and then immediately hit him for a 15 right after, because then you lose all the burn damage. Dealing with ads during boss fights can be the worst part of it. There's probably a safer way to do all this even with him. I don't think it's necessary. If I can't beat the deer without some goofy ass engineered strategy, then I shouldn't be playing this. That's my opinion. Just barely, yeah. Getting that timing right is a little tricky. There we go. Gotta time that invincibility frame just right. Okay. Not a great hit. Just missed me. Can't complain. Alright, there's that 30. Just also keeping an eye on stamina this whole time too, making sure. Yeah, a little bit too early on the dodge. Not a problem, I'm wearing great gear. Might try a headbutt. Close. I get a little bit greedy. No shame in it. I just want to take HUD off, get some good thumbnail image. I don't really need a marker for shooting something right in front of me. There we go, just like that. Perfect. Absolutely nothing. So that's now the raids are going to start. Now the actual raids are going to start. Hunt his kin. Yeah. Yeah, some scary stuff, man. Yeah, so the tutorial, we beat the tutorial. Hooray. It's only been 13 episodes. 14, I think it's 14. Yeah, we beat the tutorial. What a... Wow. I consider that the tutorial. The second boss, to some degree, I would also... No, yeah, you could argue. Yeah, never mind. I'm just... I don't mean to gatekeep. It can be really hard for some people. Some people just stay right in the meta and just enjoy it. Never leaving. Just doing their building. But even those people, I think there's a lot of merit in progression, just because you unlock so many building options by just beating a few boss, getting those new items to decorate with. You know, you could really argue this is just a building game with boss side quests. I think I've heard somebody say that on the forums, and I think they're right. Oh, man, we always just need so many berries. You know what? I didn't even bring my potions. That is hilarious. All that work for potions, and I didn't bring them. They weren't even really for this. But they're more for like trolls. I know I can beat that boss with just nothing. Because I took so many different approaches where I just, I did them with spears, basically naked. Just the crude bow, and he's very simple mechanics. It's the potion. Yeah, the potions really are for trolls. Just making sure you got that last bit of stamina to get away before you get backed up into a wall. Speak of the devil, might as well just toss him up there, right? This might be when the raids start. I assumed it was after you killed the boss, but I also think the ratings, the difficulty ramps up when you, it might have something to do with when you actually hook these guys up. Very nice. So now this is the big question is, where is our second boss? This is our first boss. So where's old Slendy? Yeah, you know? That could be quite the issue. This might be the thumbnail for the next one where we're really gonna be running around the woods like fools. I think that's the thing, you can't find them in burial chambers. We don't really need much. We already have the ovens that we need. You just really want coins and rubies after that. It'd be great to upgrade the stag breaker before we start running around the world like that, though. Just need a few. Yeah, I need 3 more deer trophy, 3 or 4 more. It's kind of like a great little outpost to just shoot deer from, if you noticed. Should be able to get. Yeah, you see him down there? Adjust, adjust, adjust. Just a little less. It's also not very consistent, right? There we go. Great little base. Great first boss. Really happy with that. Thank you for sticking with me, guys. We don't really... The hard antlers are great for digging holes, which can be very good for dealing with trolls, for sure. For sure. Nobody's gonna argue that. Don't need to cook anything, right? So not really worried about farming anything like that. Torches are great for driving off those hordes of critters chasing after you. So now we really are sitting in a situation where we kind of just need to explore Black Forest as much as possible. I'm almost tempted to just go across the ocean because it's very unlikely he's on this island anyway. Find a smaller island that's a little bit more navigatable. And what we could do is we could try to chart this island out rather than forgetting it, because we are going to come back for some of these mountains. There's a couple mountains in there, I know, real close to us. We might as well use those when the time comes. Get those potions. Here, I think I can make a little bit of this. It's a dandelion. Thistle. Might be dandelion. What do I need to make another set of potions? Yeah, I do really like this. Lower health of regeneration, increased stamina regeneration. That can be very useful. That can really definitely be useful. Minor healing's always been good. Yeah, we need some dandies. They're around if you look for them. I don't really go out of my way to pick them. That's my big problem. Still need those heads. Upgrade that mace. We got one. Okay. I think that's the second. Yeah, they're very nice. That might. We only have 3. We need a few more. And here's some dandelions. Perfect. Yeah, see, they're invisible until you walk right over them. Quite that bright yellow helps. I will be doing a Starfield Let's Play, if anybody has any interest in that. I understand a lot of people want to be on the same train, but either they don't have time for it, or, you know, it's one of those things you don't have the setup for it. Some folks don't want to play it at 30. If you have it on console, you know, you can enjoy it, but you also might want to be wondering, you know, what's it like on Ultra on a PC. So I try to avoid spoilers, or if, you know, big spoilers are coming up, I'll try to make sure people know about them. I don't want people watching it if they plan on playing it, but I think it'll be a really fun time for those who are just curious about what all the hype is about. It also, I think it forces me to play in novel and interesting ways when I'm like, okay, so I've got this like audience watching me over my shoulder. I can't just go into the engine and give myself $1 billion. Because I think once you play enough RPGs, you kind of like, I don't really want to work for my money. I just want to have all the strongest stuff right away. But I think that obviously it takes away from the experience. So sometimes, like, literally that accountability of like playing for an audience, it actually makes me enjoy it more. You know what I'm saying? So like we know it's going to take one more of those. That's not too bad. Yeah, it's not really bad at all. I try not to keep these up here simply because like having backup food when I'm just kind of running around like a fool. Okay, there we go. Kind of think about what we can eat that doesn't feel so wasteful. Yeah, these are great. These are really good. And then some, because we don't need the best stuff when we're just running around doing basic chores. Oh, you know what? I hope you guys like coal, because I'm a great chef. Mmm. Chunks of coal. Delicious. That's hilarious. Just this one. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that Ecthier bonus, though, is very valuable in a troll fight. It just helps you get that distance. Especially for those trolls that use hammers. Kind of don't stand a chance against them with a spear. I've definitely tried the spear, but on this difficulty setting, you just can't do enough damage, and they will one-hit you pretty quickly, especially if you get a mob after you. It just becomes impossible. And you also have to, really a few things have to go wrong where you're also sitting there like without any kind of terrain advantage. Nice. Very nice. Superb. Superb. Okay. Yeah, we got something good going on. I don't think we need all that honey, though. It's quite a bit. Just looking off my outpost tower for deers. I'm hearing them. That's really useful that they tell you where they are, practically. And in real life, they do kind of bark like that, interestingly. I think that might be the last one we need. I don't know if I can upgrade it more after what we're upgrading it to right now. So let's check that out. We can start the big hunt. That's just really good to help deal with. Yeah. Bone scraps wood. Tight. Okay. And hopefully while we're running around the forest, we're also going to be finding, of course, a good supply of that leather for those upgrades, too. Then we'll be full blue leather by the time, troll leather by the time we take on the second boss, which is, again, when you're doing, I think, just arrows, that's really all you need, and it'll last us into the swamps, because I do not want to make full bronze. It's just exhausting. Don't know how I feel about the fire arrows, bringing them with me. I'm going to bring them. Better safe than sorry. Don't need the hoe as much. Also just thinking about this. The buckler is just so... I hate to say it, it's been so useless. You know what I mean? Like, just useless. I don't, 6 and 8, that sounds like... Those are pretty... I usually use 7 a lot, so I want to just keep something that won't burn my potions. You can always mash it and you end up wasting potions, but I'd rather have them and waste them than not have them and die, right? Got some good food with us when we get there. I'm kind of wondering what the weather is like. If it's decent, there's no reason we shouldn't consider... Just don't want to be slowed down as we're going. There we go. I'm gonna go repair this bronze axe. I'm tempted to upgrade it simply because it's just my most valuable melee weapon for a good long while. And if we're fighting off a horde of anything, might be good to have. Yeah, let's take a look at what upgrading it would cost. No, nothing. 4 bronze, 1 scrap. I easily have that. I have more if I want. Let's take a look at making even some more upgrades to it. I don't need, that's the thing, I don't need, what do I need bronze for right now? Nothing, maybe another fermenter, sure. Nothing else. It's gonna be my primary weapon too. So yeah, 8 bronze, we can pull that. Fantastic. The people have talked with, you know, the gear. I've never liked it. I don't think it does definitely help clear a crowd. It might be worth considering when you're trying to kill a bunch of those fools all at once. When you're swarms. But then you can't use a shield. That's why I usually stick with the axe anyway. Yeah. So you can see that we're actually getting attacked. Obviously I'm not panicking or anything like that. No reason to. We're doing fine. I'll probably call it a solid recording session. I know these ones have been a little bit short. So yeah, look. But what I can do is I can hold this so that they don't get the edge on me. All they do is throw rocks. It's not enough to truly cause me problems. I think the disadvantage of the axe, it doesn't really count as a weapon, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, look at that. Big hit. That's why we stay inside and just shoot. Oh, we do want to kill a few of these because they do drop some decent items. Let's see. Mostly I'm thinking about how to summon the next boss. Not too worried here. Thing is, you do have to clear them even after the event ends. That's what can feel a bit irritating. Yeah, they do tend to just look at this, look at them, just all in there like that. That's hilarious. Yeah, we're gonna clear these boys up and then get ready to go off on our little adventure. It's almost better to just have a wall around the moat so that they can walk off. instead of falling in, and you have to spend the time clearing them. So I'll probably do that at some point. But I might not spend a lot more time here in this area. We'll see. Yeah, see how they run off if you let them? Not these ones. They're my prisoners now. You know what? I'm not even going to kill them. They're mine. They might keep me awake, so what? No shame in it. Those buteberries are a little bit useful. Switching from labor to exploration for combat. Alright, let's see if I can't put them out of their misery. Let's see, we got a load on here. This feels wrong, like morally. I don't know why. Yeah, that was tough to watch me do that. It was tough for me to watch me do that. Look at all this trash. That's hilarious. Okay, I'm over it. I moved on. Yeah, that's just so I can sleep at night. The defenses in general are to keep me from being rushed and watching my things get destroyed. I get the idea. I'll have more potions to work with too. I was even thinking of using one right there. I was like, is it worth it? Can I handle it? I know it seemed really simple and easy and like not a big deal. And yeah, I could probably generally be fine. Just rushing the boss early on. But it's just such a benefit to have a ton of leather scraps as well come from that first wave of that first boss. His whole gimmick. The creatures. A fresh torch. It really is useful not being aggroed on them. To the pit. See ya. Everybody needs a garbage dump. Well, I visited this area in Arizona. It was the where the Hopi people lived, and where it was one of these big like plateaus kind of thing. And by plateau, I kind of just mean like tableau, like kind of like a little bit of a. There's a word for it, a geographical word, but I'm totally forgotten. Where all the people, they build up like this whole city kind of on this like short flat mountain, kind of like where the Parthenon is in Greece. But it's quite a bit shorter than that. But so basically it's just cliffs all around them, and then desert, a mesa. I think it might just be a mesa. And what they do in Arizona, they would just throw their trash off the sides, and I think they've done that for like thousands of years. Like that was just where things went. It's not as good now with like plastic, but. It is an option, right? We should start another stamina set while we're gone. What do we need for that? It's gonna be 10 raspberries, 10 yellows. Okay, we got that. Easily. Just to always make sure I just gotta always make sure I got potions running. Potions available, no matter how expensive they are. Might have lost some goodies there. Alright, so we've beaten this episode, we beat the boss. Next episode, we're going to be starting to look for the Elder for the next boss. Just one progression after the next. And that's where this is going to start picking up a little bit more speed. Right on. Thank you, guys. Take care.